Bloodbourn. It's not going to be great. It's not a new character. I just figured I really love this game and I wanted to start a broadcast, so here I go. I'm going into the Cursed Il Chalice dungeon, layer 2. So here I go. And with my bud here is my friend Brovolone. Say hi, Brovolone.
Hey everybody.
But yeah, don't judge me too harshly. It's my first broadcast. Hope you guys enjoy. You might hear some irritating sounds, but that's because sometimes this game gives me a bit of a irritated itch. Also, I'm in a curse fetid and rotted dungeon, so yeah.
Jesus. But you're also what, like a level 300 and something?
Yes, 346.
You know, we still have yet to uncover how the chalices actually play into the story.
I know. I'm wondering how, because definitely it has connection with our... Yeah, me and my friend here were talking about some deep lore of how Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2 and all of it's connected. We believe, as far as I believe right now, the dungeons have something to do with like the old lords, which is like Gwyn and Ornstein and Nito and all that. Because as everyone knows, when you come far enough into the dungeons, you fight the watchdog of the old lord, which the old lord, in my my experience, I see as Gwyn. But it also comes to the fact that it's on fire. So that makes me think of the Witches of Isolde. But I mean,
or Gwyn, the Lord of Flame.
Oh, well, the Lord.
He's most likely
I probably didn't say that because I was thinking Solaire, the sun. I don't know. I didn't think of the sun as flame. But yeah, it's probably that's why we came up with this idea, and that's what I thought. But how the actual Chalice dungeon come in to play as far as that lore, I have no idea.
I think the chalices are just a means to actually make it to the dungeons, and you know, when you think about it in all the lore of, you know, all the Souls games, it always talks about how, you know, every kingdom has been built on the bones of the last. So it's possible that, you know, delving through the layers deep enough, you might uncover something that's been lost for a very, very long time.
It does say, like, that's what I was talking about you earlier, about the madmen and the madmen's knowledge. The connection there I made is due because the old ones, it's the knowledge of the old ones. And as our theory was, or mine, I'm not sure if yours is still a theory, that at the end of each of the, I'm not sure which Souls game it was, but when you have to choose the path to either light the flame or let it die, if you don't light it, it ushers in the age of man, the dark age of man. And Bloodborne is obviously the age of man, and that would have been the repercussion of choosing the dark age. That's why I think this is the sequel if you have not actually lit the flame.
My whole theory about it, like, I got to kind of raise it into yours, like, so when you think about it, there was really a pathway of choice, but there was also the, because, so on one side of the theory states that in the first Dark Souls, if you rekindle the one, or if you rekindle the first flame, you know, it ushers in the age of light, and so it continues, and that's what brought about the events of Dark Souls 2. Where the flames still exist and all that, but I think that somehow it also kind of split off into its own kind of parallel universe, because the original theory stated that, you know, if you chose the light the age of light comes out, yada yada yada, Dark Souls 2 comes out, but if you chose not to, it always talks about the prophecy where, you know, thou art our undead, leave the prison, ring the bells of awakening, and fate at the end of the shall know. Well, it only says that. So there's always going to be a fated undead who will always rekindle the bonfire. But there's also the idea that, you know, what if the prophecy is wrong? You know, what if the flame is never rekindled? And so the Age of Darkness would ensue, the Age of Man. And that's kind of where Bloodborne takes. So it's entirely possible that Bloodborne is somehow connected, and through what he said, you know, the Watcher of the Old Lord, the dog, that represents Gwyn, the Lord of Flame. Although it makes no direct, you know, affinity to the other Souls games, it's entirely possible.
We're always left, when we play these games, when we play the Souls games, guys, we never get any direct confirmation from, as far as the developers, whether these deep lore connections we come up with are real. And we're always left up to make the connections ourselves, even if they say they're not right. It's so hard to go against it, and it just seems like it all goes together, it pieces together.
Yeah. I don't know, I guess we'll find out when Dark Souls 3 comes out.
I guess we'll figure out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Dude, fuck these stupid... There's so
say
many...
that it couldn't be connected.
I honestly feel...
Because, I mean...
For Dark Souls 3, I feel like that's still gonna... Like, as far as... If my theory goes correctly, that's the continuation of the Age of the Gods, the flame that can keep rekindling the flame, unless actually Bloodborne, if it's Dark Souls 3, maybe it comes after Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, I think it's also pretty interesting to note the kind of not only like an art style shift, but also kind of well, if you look at any of the trailers for, you know, Dark Souls 3, in all of the Dark Souls games and all the trailers, it's always been about, you know, fighting the curse, fighting the undead hollows, and killing the chosen undead and everything. But in Dark Souls 3, there's a lot of suggestion that you yourself are actually a Lord of Cinder. As to what exactly a Lord of Cinder is, again, we'll find out when Dark Souls 3 comes out. But I think it's kind of interesting to notice that in, you know, all the trailers and everything, there's a huge presence of, you know, man, that they're not corrupted, you know, they're you know, the churchies walking up through everything, but there's a greater presence of man that's never been in either of the Dark Souls games, or, as far as I know, Demon Souls.
Yeah, Demon Souls. I actually have a pretty interesting theory. Some people say that it's not connected to the to the sequel, Dark Souls. But if you notice in Dark Souls 2 how the Vendrick takes the giant's kinship. If you've played Demon Souls, you know that the Monumentals had given, I think it was the shard of a piece of the shard of the Archstone to the 6, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, one of the 6 of the lords of the different lands, one to the king of the small kingdom, one to the stone workers, one to the queen of the tower, and one to the giants of the north. And if you play the game, you notice that that Archstone is smashed to pieces. And in my investigating of that, I believe the giant's kinship is the gift that the Monumentals had given the giants. In Dark Souls, there was no actual really gameplay as far as with the giants. Thus, this was before the the events of Dark Souls 2. The shard that the Monumentals had given the giants, like all the other lords, had immense power. And Vendrick had stolen that, and that's why they had, you know, whenever Vendrick had invaded the Giants, he stole that treasure that the Monumentals had given the Giants. And if you've also remembered, the main enemy basically in the Demon Souls is the Old One, who ushered forth the Age of the Mist and all that. Which makes me wonder, I think that was the age, like the actual curse and the fog and all that. But yeah, I mean, it's not like a fully developed theory of it all. I can definitely be wrong, but I've spent a lot of hours and time about this, and I died again, motherfucker.
Yeah. What else? Weren't we talking about earlier how in Dark Souls 2, you know, I was talking about how the soul of the giant is
kind of like the humanity
remarkably
from the Dark Souls.
similar to humanity that you use to regain your own humanity in Dark Souls, and that got me kind of thinking, because when you think about it, humanity, yeah, when the primordial, or when the furtive pygmy, you know, gave life
out there.
Yeah, when the furtive pygmy produced man and divided the dark soul, you know, man inherited that darkness, but the dark soul was, by, you know, almost all accounts, it was originally intended to, you know, feed the flame as a source of fuel to keep the Age of Light going. So it's kind of interesting to see the giants, you know, moving towards the location of the kiln. Not to mention, when you actually beat the game, there are giants there who help you cross over the gapway to make it to the kiln. So, is it actually the responsibility of the giants who still bear humanity to keep the kiln alive for the fated undead to come with his great store of souls and the humanity that's ensued with those souls to rekindle the flame? And we start talking about also like what Vendrick stole, and you know, the giant's kinship and everything. It makes a lot of sense, but also the ability to produce golems. I think it was a mixture of things. I think yes, Vendrick did steal the, you know, giant's kinship, but I don't think it was any one specific thing. I think it was also the Lord vessel, to be honest, because when you think about it, the vessel is what allowed you to, the vessel could be filled with souls.
That
so
opened the thing to the kiln. And think of it, when you smashed it, if he smashed the kiln, or whoever smashed it, that would take away the blockade to get to the kiln. And if Vendrick picked the place he had and built the door, he made his own, like, door in order to get to the kiln. Like, we were discussing, like, you notice how the area remarkably kind of resembles the kiln as you descend the long stairway? What if he built that over the old kiln? Like, he built this kingdom over the old kiln.
And also, if you notice on all of the golems, you know, in the center of their chest, it's a structure that is, it's vessel-like. It's remarkably similar to the vessel. And of course, the vessel being able to contain souls could also bring life to things. But then it spins off another question entirely too, because is it just the vessel that allows things to be infused with souls? Because the old Iron King also found his scepter. His scepter also allowed him to control metal and infuse it to come alive. So that power is not just contained to the Lord vessel or any other vessel containing souls.
I know, I'm hoping when Dark Souls 3 comes out, I'm really hoping that, like we were discussing earlier about the backstories of Artorias and like the original Artorias, Ornstein, Raim, Valstad, and if you guys are also really interested in hearing about lore on YouTube, there is, what did you say his name was? his channel because he gives you insightful thoughts. And I've watched, well, when my buddy Brovlone here told me about it, I remember watching it, and if you guys are interested in a lot of story depth, really in-depth story, it'll definitely.
Yeah, dude, his channel is amazing. A lot of the connections that he gets, you know, they're not just shots in the dark, and he actually, you know, does his research and everything, you know.
He makes the actual
he goes to the forums, he discusses it, you know, he has the item background, he even talked to a few of the developers of the game. He got some pretty hands-on experience with Dark Souls 3 in the test beta, which is pretty cool. He made a video about it also. Yeah, yeah, really awesome. Really awesome.
Oh, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff to be debated in this game, and I know a lot of you out there might, argue heavily against it, and that's fine. I'm open to hearing everybody else's ideas. It interests me. I love lore, and I've spent, like I said, a lot of time thinking this over, reading the backgrounds, actually digging some research as well. And it just, I don't know, it just gives me a mindgasm. Which is also weird because as far as like the connection with Bloodborne and Dark Souls, as I find those like witches, those pyromancers or whatever, wield fire, and that's pyromancy. Also, you guys know when you fight the Bone Ash Keeper or whatever, she uses pyromancies, or he uses pyromancies, which brings in the connection back to Dark Souls or Dark Souls 2 or whatever. It's just a lot of lore back there. And don't judge me too harshly, because I'm on my cursed Fetterden Rottering, rotted run through the Great What is that? What the fuck is that? I don't trust this thing. I'm gonna get fucked up. Oh god, it's scary. Are you gonna do anything special? You dirty. That boss. I thought it was just one of the beasts, but no, it turns out it was one of the bosses you fight. Sitting there as a common enemy. So, yeah. That was upsetting. I done died, guys. You guys can keep count if you want.
Dude, the number of times you die in a Souls game is ultimately inconsequential. It's all about overcoming, not submitting to the failure.
Prepare to die is, remember, did you ever, I think it was on the back of the Dark Souls case, that's what it said, was prepare to die.
Yeah. I mean, unless you were one of the few gifted pros who have been able to make it through a game entirely without dying.
Hey, I did get through Dark Souls 2 and get my Rings of the Conqueror and my Ring of whatever it is. So
Hell yeah.
I was able to do that. I don't like pyromancies.
I mean, I could do no bonfire, no deaths. No deaths would probably be a little bit of a challenge.
I spent a lot of
I don't think it would be impossible.
You guys want to hear a fucked up story actually about that? I was doing my no death runs and my no bonfire. Well, I had gotten to, I think, what is the area with lion beasts? The
cursed woods or the shaded woods, yeah.
I had stupidly decided to run down the log and I fell off on my no death run. Yeah. That far in and I'd fallen off a log. No, And then no, that wasn't it. I thought no, that was later. The way I had died on my no death. I told you about this. Remember I told you about the pebble,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
rock. I was running through that the with all the whatever they are. I don't know what they are, but where they throw like the rocks and stuff. If you have like the bone staffs or whatever they have, the bodies or whatever. And
Yeah, yeah.
the one in the top right, the top left corner, when you come by, that's throwing rocks at you. I was just trying to rush past because I didn't want to take the risk. Well, I went around to kill him, and he threw a rock at me and killed me on my no death run. And yeah, so. So, don't judge me for sucking too much.
Yeah, you're good. You're better at Bloodborne than me.
Maybe.
Dude, the combat is so different compared to all the other Souls games. It's fast-paced, fucking unforgiving.
Oh god,
I
scared me.
I don't want to say it's really not hard when you actually take the time to learn it.
That's as with most of the Souls games, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a sense of artificial difficulty that. Yeah,
I mean, definitely for somebody that would pick up. Go ahead.
As far as like starting off into a From game, like
don't pick Bloodbourne.
Yeah, do not fucking pick Bloodborne.
Thank God I had my experience. Yes, you can.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's I don't want to say it's impossible.
Would you like to join in and watch my broadcast too? Whenever you get the chance. Whenever.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. What's your broadcast channel?
Oh, well, you can come. We're in the party. Remember, I'm in the party, and
Oh, fucking yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, I'm gonna watch it.
I will add whoever sends me a friend request after. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep the broadcast. It's my first broadcast. I know it's not great, but yeah.
But
with the beef. Don't.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't want to say that if you haven't played a Souls game before, you're not going to be able to beat Bloodborne, because it's not true. Because there is a lot of difference between Bloodborne and all the other Souls games.
Yeah, as far as difficulty-wise, I'd rather pick up Dark Souls or one of the Souls games other than Bloodborne, because I don't usually see a lot of games like with such a fast-paced combat. And yeah. I know for some people.
But I get what you're saying, the experience and everything of playing the Souls game. But honestly, like having experience in all the other Souls games doesn't help you that much.
Well, it helps you out because it kind of brings up your expectations of what's going to happen. And again, when I before I got it, I did watch a good bit of videos. I was like, okay, well, this isn't going to be too hard considering, I'm a veteran. I've played the rest of the games, and that's a little cocky to say, but that's what I thought. And I still died incredibly a lot. Like, I still died a lot on the cleric.
Yeah, but like as far as actual gameplay goes, like don't get me wrong, the Souls games will give you experience in like how to understand, how the game itself operates, why areas are so much harder than others, because you're not supposed to go there yet. You're supposed to progress naturally, not beating your head against a brick wall of difficulty, but finding pathway that made it something more like achievable and realistic of your like skill level and your in-game level.
That 3,000, that 3,000 visceral though.
Yeah, seriously. But what was I gonna say?
Oh,
but as
dude,
far as,
you
like,
know how I was just telling you about the Lost Chicago earlier? I got it.
Yeah.
Wait, I hope it's a crescent gem. Oh, no, it's
But
not.
anyways,
Oh, it's a blood
like I
tinge,
was
though. It's a
saying,
blood tinge.
like I was saying,
I'm doing better
like the
than I
actual
thought.
gameplay goes, the combat is so much different from a Souls game. Like I played Dark Souls. I played Dark Souls 2. Unfortunately, I didn't play Demon Souls. I went back and
Unfortunately, you played Lords of the
yeah,
Fallen.
yeah. Unfortunately, I played fucking Lords
But
of the
no,
Fallen,
guys,
and
From
they're
Software, their games are madly insane. Even though Lords of the Fallen is a bit like, as we all call it in our Souls experience, clunky Souls. It's not a
yeah.
bad game. It's just slow, and there's a lot of bugs.
Uh, See
I
though, that's kind of where I gotta draw the line though. Like honestly, from like the perspective
like
of
I've seen the
like me, someone
gameplay
who
of
actually,
it. Personally, it doesn't look too bad. It looks like something I can adapt to, but as far as, like, if I went from that, if I'm playing Bloodborne and I went from that, it'd probably be distasteful for me, so.
yeah, my problem,
I
my
don't know
biggest
my way
problem
out.
with Lords of the Fallen is that, you know, I'm sure I'll get a reasonable amount of flack for this, but like, the story, honest to God, was not that engaging. I didn't really give a shit about the story, which, you know, it's me, and I've forgotten a
I
fair
went the
amount of it
wrong
because
way. I went the wrong way.
I haven't played it in about 2 years. But as far as the combat went, the combat was, it was actually pretty fun, to be honest. That's one thing I did like about the game. The combat was fun. It was
But I'm
really
guessing it
slow,
just
but
didn't have a really diverse story.
yeah, like it wasn't like every other Souls game where it had a really engaging story. It actually kind of had, I don't want to say a generic story, but I didn't personally find it that amazing. And I didn't find myself getting like overwhelmingly engaged in the story.
I didn't find myself
like,
getting mindgasms from it.
yeah, but
Where's
like
that
there are
ladder?
other aspects of the game that were really cool. Like obviously bosses were still pretty damn cool. For example, there was one boss that he would charge up a lightning flash attack, and if you were locked on and looking at him, when it went off, it would stun you, and then he would immediately follow up with like this super OP jump attack that would basically instantly kill you.
Sounds like Artorias.
Yeah, and it was fairly frustrating to the point that I actually had to go on YouTube and look it up and see what I was doing wrong. But after I overcame
get
that,
up the ladder!
Basically, my biggest thing with Lords of the Fallen is that it has one design element that really fucking held it back in the end, and that is the insane fucking difficulty jumps. Like, don't get me wrong, I played Dark Souls. I killed the Capra Demon. I played Dark Souls 2. I killed fucking Vendrick solo. I killed the Ancient Dragon solo. I killed the fucking Smelter Demon solo. They are challenging bosses, not fucking hard bosses.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say
Because,
that. I mean, challenging and hard go hand in hand. I mean, it's kind of if it's challenging, it offers some sort of opposition
a hard,
to you.
okay. Yeah, well, here's my difference between a hard and a challenging boss. A challenging boss is one that requires you to be in a constant state of awareness and makes you really have to plan out and think about what you're doing at every second in the battle. A hard boss is the example of a boss that, per se, has just a soiree of attributes that are literally just designed to make the fight like it's not rewarding in any sense. Like, okay, so in Dark Souls, obviously you have to learn a boss's moveset, and that makes it a shit ton easier. And once you learn their moveset down, you know, despite how much health they have and despite how much damage they do, you feel rewarded in the end because you overcame, you know, an enemy who's greatly stronger than you.
No.
But in Lords of the Fallen, a lot of bosses were just hard because they had the worst combination of attributes. So like super high health, super high damage, and they're fast. And you know, it kind of brings me back to Bloodborne because they do kind of address this differently. Because yes, there are huge bosses. Yes, they have a lot of health, and yes, they do a lot of damage.
Yes,
But
they do.
also with
I've
that,
experienced this.
yeah, but also with that, you know, they have huge openings that telegraph their attacks really well, and you know they still operate on a move set. In Lords of the Fallen, they still operated on a move set, but god damned if it wasn't really challenging at times,
I ran into a
and
dead end again.
just downright impossible. You know, and my biggest beef with that game is the fact that the difficulty spiked pretty regularly, and it was like getting hit in the face with a brick because you know you'd be going along slaying some pretty mindless grunts, enjoying yourself, you know, feeling almost like you got this down, and then out of nowhere a fucking boss shows up and they are just infinitely frustrating to fight
That
because
sounds like
they
a
do
lot of
not operate.
douchebaggery.
Yeah, and also there's a single fight in that game, which I don't exactly remember. It's when you first go through the portal and blah 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 and try to kill something. Again, it's been like 2 years
Okay,
since I
so I
played the
haven't
game, but I
played that
distinctly
game myself, but that is that I'm guessing that game is in no way related to Dark Souls or anything.
oh god, no, no.
Okay, I saw the
At least as
gameplay
far
and
as
all
I
this
know.
stuff, and it doesn't seem like it's any way connected to it.
Yeah, at least as
I
far as
can't
I know,
find
they're
my
not
way out of
connected.
the swamp, goddammit.
Um, but um, oh shit, what was I saying? Um, but yeah,
Irritation rising where I'm
yeah,
going, I don't know.
irritation. Shit, I lost my train of thought. Um, but yeah, it has really bad difficulty spikes. That was my biggest beef with that game in the end. Like I don't want to say it was a bad game because you know I occupied a fair amount of time with it, and you know I found it pretty enjoyable. I beat the game. Um, but as of now, I would probably not go back and play it. Not because I, you know, wouldn't enjoy it, because I enjoy any game that I play. Um, that I just, God, just the difficulty spike is at some points it's unfucking real. And you know, here I am bitching about difficulty in a From game, but it's not that sense of artificial difficulty where you reward or punish the player
It
based on
has
their
spikes.
choices
It
and
has
their
massive spikes in difficulty. There's no gradual
yeah,
increasing of the
yeah,
enemy's strength.
yeah,
And
like
I'm lost.
God, every single boss fight felt like going in and fighting the Capra Demon in Dark Souls 1 all over again. And it was just fucking punishing to come
Sorry
against the
guys if I
boss
can't
because
like find the lever.
99.9% of the time you would die on like tries 1 through 5 without fail. And you would only defeat them finally after just sheer determination. There was no, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a specific way to, you know, tactically take down every boss you fight by learning their moveset, operating when they're open, and shit like that, but god damn, that game is unreal at times.
That's what I want
Um,
to do for all my adoring fans that I don't have. Get lost.
no, you're all good.
God, I hate. I mean, I love these swamp levels. It brings back memories of Demon Souls, Valley of Defilement, and all that. But I'm so damn lost. It doesn't even matter anymore. Like I have no clue where I'm going. Like, it's like what? But yeah, guys, thanks. I mean, I know there's not a lot of people watching, but whoever does, thank you for watching. It's my first broadcast, and it means a lot. I'm gonna definitely post some more videos and broadcasts of this.
Yeah, I'd probably say for the future though, I would try to keep your videos like 20 minutes. You know, even if we could chop them up into segments like part 1, part 2, part 3, and, you know, follow them up with immediate broadcasts. But hey, you know, who doesn't like a shit ton of videos being released in one day?
I mean, I don't really do much around on a daily basis for now, so I have a lot of time I can spend putting up some videos, but I'll definitely put up more videos. So I'll end this video when I finish this layer of the Chalice Dungeon, guys. So if you guys wish to stay tuned in with me for now, I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'll see where it goes. Are you watching? You see me dying?
And I see you getting lost.
Yeah, I got lost a lot. Oh, fuck! That scared the cripes out of me.
And another one bites the dust.
Oh my. The damage is real. I think I've never got. It's probably because I'm multitasking. That's why I got lost. I got in tune to talking, and I was like, "Oh, where am I going?"
True.
But like I said, we're getting near the end of my broadcast, because when I go fight the boss, I'll do my little outro and say goodbye, and then we'll just see where that goes from there. If you guys like broadcasts or anything, let me know, and if you want more, tell me. But I'll keep bumping out videos if I can. But here we go.
No problem with the surplus of videos, dude.
Oh, okay, yeah, this is... I was hoping to get a bit more of an epic. Fuck!
Who is it?
Is the man-eater board. But I guess I didn't... Yeah, it's a little saddening. That was upsetting. That was very disgraceful.
Oh,
I didn't...
Damn.
But, I mean, that was kind of upsetting. But again, don't judge me too harshly, guys. I don't have a lot of health. I won't do the second mistake twice.
Well, they might have cut your health in half, but that just means you gotta double up on the skills.
Please don't hurt me. Okay, I'm gonna switch this up a little bit here.
Oh, damn. Dude, he is one big asshole, isn't he?
He's gonna have a big one.
Fair enough. And I really need to find better recording equipment, so that way my voice doesn't sound like garbage when I actually, you know, make my own series and shit.
Yeah, sorry if I don't sound too good, guys. I don't really have professional recording equipment right now.
Very true. That katana though, for real. And I would take a step back and heal up some because
I am healed.
shit's about to get real.
He's not doing what I want him to do. You dirty motherfucker. I could have gotten in there and did that, but he decided to kick me in the damn face.
He is one ugly motherfucker, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. You
Is anybody
dirty...
else thinking of bacon right now?
I'll probably do that.
very true. My god, that 3,000 bits.
Okay, guys, well, I'm gonna head down to the next level real quick. Open up this. If you guys want to see the rest of the Chalice Dungeon, I'll go back and do the tree reward room. And this is, I guess, you know, I am going to make my goodbye, guys. So thank you for watching. I hope it wasn't too horribly horrible, but thank you.